r/off my chest. Raccoon Fearless 3918 says, I 18 male, have OCD about becoming a pedophile. It started last year, maybe 2 years ago. It kind of just started small, if you don't do this, you're going to like children, stuff like that. Then it started to get worse this year. It constantly replays in my head and has become my worst fear. If I don't do a specific thing at a certain time, I'll become a pedophile. If I don't stay under cold water for 18 to 25 seconds, I'll become a pedophile. I know I'm not one, but it makes me feel sad and disgusting, especially since I have nobody to talk about it with. It's not really something you can just say, and people will be understanding of it. I was groomed as a child and exposed to things at a young age, so I'm not really sure if that plays a part in it or not, but it's an shitty experience. Pirate 2499 says, I have OCD too. When I was a kid I had thoughts of if I don't do this God will kill my mom, and now it is like, if I don't do this, I will get cancer. I cannot imagine dealing with your type, but lots of people do. It isn't real, it's just thoughts. You aren't like that. Raccoon Fearless 3918 says, yeah, it's awful. It isn't real, and we aren't like that, but our minds keep tricking us into thinking it will happen, and we are that kind of person. Hopefully, we can get better together. Pirate 2499 says, I pray because, and I'm sure you know this, it is exhausting. No one who does not have this disease understands how awful it is. It is like something has kidnapped your brain. I can't stand it. Death Claw Pete says, I believe you when you say you are not a pedophile. I've read that people who struggle with OCD around abuse rarely ever act on it because you are constantly obsessing over how awful the idea is. I'm so sorry you are dealing with this, but you are not alone in your struggle. And not everyone on the outside will think you horrible for your struggle. Nintendo Switchblade says, can confirm. I struggle with the same thing. I have to reassure myself 24/7 that my brain is just lying to me. r/off my chest. Throra Cube says, sometimes I hate being Asian. I don't like being my race. Maybe the media warped my perception of who I am. My family still believes in some antiquated aspects of our culture, none of the terribly misogynistic ones, luckily. The commercials thrown in my face make things worse. No Asian men are ever depicted in a positive light. The Asian women in these commercials are always marrying the Caucasian man. Every single commercial. The portrayal in media isn't much better, which is why Crazy Rich Asians and Fresh Off the Boat were such a nice breath of fresh air. Hell, my own mother told me that Asian women usually prefer Caucasian men as an escape from our culture. My mother's ex-boyfriend before my father was Caucasian. My ex-girlfriend's mother told her to marry a Caucasian to make their children look better. At least we'll always have Asian Jim from The Office. Spiritually a 3782 says, I'm sorry you're going through that. I think Asian men are very handsome, and I've noticed how they are portrayed in the media. It's nothing like my experiences with the boyfriends I've had. Historiana 1313 says, as Indian person I feel the same way, like I'm looked down upon tbh. Sugawa Tershower says, non-Asian woman that married an Asian man here. Love him to bits, and he is gorgeous and brilliant. Lowy08213 says, you have to stop watching that type of stuff, a man, and media in general. I myself am Asian, Japanese Mexican mixed male. But it never helps to see media portrayals, or how the media depicts any sort of Asian man or woman. I used to think the same, but I hated the fact that I felt like I was beating myself up or being a victim. You are the person who's going to determine your destiny. Who cares about what the whole world thinks about Asians in general, or how they are represented in media as a whole? You have to be the best version of yourself, and to have confidence in yourself in this already hard to live world. Sure, Asian women might prefer Caucasian men for their husbands, but so what? There are probably equally as many people who will prefer Asian men over other races. It's just a status symbol that doesn't guarantee happiness whatsoever. I know plenty of women of my own race who have married white guys, and guess what? They're either divorced or miserable because of different cultures. You can't warp your vision with the media. It does. Off my chest. Hollywood Doc says, I realized I gave up on life. So in November 23rd I lost my job, January my car, and earlier this month my place. Had a friend with empty space, threw everything in his shed. Then I lied to him and told him I was getting a hotel room, turned around and found a dark hidden area of the city to sleep in peace. I have a very small gambling side hustle that pays my phone bill. Someone saw me chilling and called my mother. She came out, found me and brought me to her house. Now I'm back here, but my fire for life went out. I was studying and learning JavaScript to advance my career, don't care about it now. I was never going to be good enough at it to get hired anyway. I no longer laugh. I don't want my friends to see me like me this, so I tell them I'm busy. I no longer see myself with a future. I'll never have my own car and place again, or a good job. I'm 37 by the way, so my life is pretty much past me. If there was a way to lay down and just stop living, I would. So the last few weeks I haven't left the house or wanted to. I really just want to die honestly. I'm a realistic person about this, and being a big waste of a person is hard to accept, but never run from truth. Manner it says, sometimes being realistic just means depression. It's a creepy illness that even those suffering from it don't recognize. Don't give up on your friends, nor the future. You have a mother who cares. You are not homeless. That's a start some people don't have. If it is possible, try to find a therapist, and things will get better. Wish you the best. KMABBI says, I'm sorry that you're experiencing such a tough time. Despite not knowing you, I believe you do have a future. You are the only person who can change your life, and it will be difficult, but it sounds like you have support. Support is important in times like these. If you're an NC, I can refer you to a job that starts on March 6th. The job pays $20 an hour and will continue through November 5th, 2024. This could help you get back on your feet. Message me if I can help. Anonymous says, I know a man that was 50 years old and challenged himself to be an RN. With all odds against him, he challenged himself and did it. Don't think your life is behind you. You are a lot more resilient than you think. I know in the moment it can be hard, but instead of tackling this in the position of the victim, reposition yourself to get a different perspective. What are you supposed to be learning here about yourself that you wouldn't have been able to learn being so caught up with your old life? Life can be perceived as soft clay. You can mold it and create amazing things, or, ed up things, but the beauty of it all is that you can break the clay down again and make something else. You have the power to do that. These circumstances can change. If you've had those things before, you can have them again. I'm rooting for you. Off my chest. Batdude2 says, I can't stop texting her. Hey guys, so I'm a 19-year-old and there was this girl I was talking to a few months, and I felt like we were both into each other, but one day she just started ghosting me. Like completely stopped replying. I've been trying to 4 months to try and ask her what happened, but she just doesn't reply. I'd text her once every few weeks cause I was so confused, and I just couldn't stop texting her to apologize for anything I might have done. Only recently have I realized what I'm doing is extremely creepy. I've been harassing her all this time and I can't forgive myself. I feel like an absolute dick. In an attempt to stop, I've deleted her number and I think I won't be texting her anymore. I still feel like shit though. I'm such an idiot for doing this. Like Diamore says, the fact you're self-aware means this is something you can work on. If you can pinpoint how the situation made you feel and try to unpack your reaction, you can enter future relationships with a better understanding of yourself. Try not to beat yourself up about it. You recognized your wrongs and are changing your behavior. We've all done things we regret when it comes to relationships, but that's the only way to learn how to navigate them. Critical Mouse 7258 says, I think, to a degree, we've all been there. But you're on the right, albeit difficult path. Just stop. Just stop. It's hard to keep or get someone off your mind, but you can do it. Don't give in. Move on. Thiscoldba Massive says, our culture didn't do you any favors. It's always on men to keep trying until they succeed, as if relationships are a task and not a meeting of minds. Forgive yourself. All she ever wanted you to do was to leave her alone, and now you are doing that. You've succeeded in making her happy. Now you need to work on letting go of your fantasy future with her that would have happened if she were just the person you wanted her to be, and start looking for the woman who is actually right for you. Ali Dragonfruit 263 says, forgive yourself. The best you can do is to move on. Trust me, we've all been there. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.